Welcome everybody. I'm Veronica and this is Hatha Flow Yoga from noon to 1 on Fridays. And we're all getting used to, some of us more than others, this virtual connection. So I'm very happy and honored to be able to connect with you today, at least in this way for now, and hopefully looking forward to the time when we can all be together again in person. But for now, let's start arriving into our practice. So take a nice tall seat of your choice. Make yourself comfortable so that your spine can really stretch. And I am sitting on a block. If you have a block or maybe a couple of big books in your home, something like this that you could use for props. You can sit cross-legged, just gently crossing the shins or the ankles like this. And I like to tuck my feet close into my groin so that I can get a nice stretching through the hips. So anything that's comfortable for you as you settle into your practice. Let your hands rest anywhere on your lap that's comfortable. If you like an energetic feel to your practice, your palms can be up, or you can place your hands down, palms down, for a more grounded feeling. So do what's comfortable for you. And then you can allow your eyes to close if you like, or just keep a really soft gaze maybe towards the front of your mat, eyelids heavy. Start to arrive here in your practice by taking a few deep breaths. Let everything just relax. Try to let go. Let your shoulders fall down gently away from the ears. Let your face relax. All the facial muscles, especially around your jaw. Let your forehead relax. And then notice your breath. Where is your breath right now in your body? Is it constricted and up at the top of your chest, or is it long and patient and just becoming more consistent as you inhale and exhale through the nose, taking deep breaths? And then let your palms come together in front of your heart in Anjali Mudra. So we'll start to formulate an intention for this practice. So if you come to this class often, you might know what that is. And if you're new to yoga or to this class, just setting an intention is letting yourself focus on something that is important to you, that maybe you will dedicate your movements and your breath to today. And maybe it's a friend or a family member, or anything at all that's going on in your life right now that you'd like to focus on as you practice, as you move and breathe. So breathe deeply into your own intention. And then take that intention, move your hands up, placing your thumbs right between your eyebrows. So you bring that intention up from your heart right to the middle of your forehead to your intuitive eye, the symbolic gesture of connecting your heart's intention to your intuitive mind. And then release your hands back down to your lap and open the eyes if you have them closed. And then we'll come into a really important posture that I want to remind you that you can go to anytime during this practice. So let's shift ourselves to a child's pose, just to know what that's all about. You want to let your big toes touch and your knees separate, maybe as wide as your mat. So you have a lot of room to fit your rib cage down between your knees, and let your hands come forward, let your forehead come all the way down to your mat. And take a few breaths. So I can also show this to you sideways if you're new. Let yourself just settle down in your child's posture. This is a resting posture. Make sure you listen to your body and come to rest anytime you want to during your practice. So you can also, if your child's pose is a little bit harder to access, as in resting your sitting bones down onto your heels, you can place a rolled up blanket right on top of your Achilles tendons and still the knees wide, then settle down your sitting bones onto that blanket, and that can make you feel a little bit more grounded. Take a few deep breaths into your back body. Really feel your back broadening and the shoulder blades separating open as you breathe in. As you breathe out, let your chest become heavy down towards the earth. Release the breath. Feel the grounding sensation. And then from your child's pose, we're going to diagonally stretch to the right. So reach your arms across, maybe off of your mat, like you're making a half circle. Take your left hand, place it right next to your right hand, and keep grounding down onto the heels. We're going to feel this breath in our rib cage. So as you inhale, start to kind of look to the left, like you're peeking underneath your left arm, like you're looking out a window. And then exhale, come back down, grounding onto the heels. Forehead can come down to the mat. Try that again. As you inhale, rotate your chest to the left, really opening up through the left side, and then exhale, re-grounding the forehead down. Let's walk our hands back to center. Let's try that over to the other side. So reaching the left arm across and the right arm across, right hand resting right next to the left hand. Ground yourself down onto the heels, forehead can come down to the mat. Feel that stretch all along the right side body. And then as you take your breath in, roll your head to peek through the right, under your right arm. So it's kind of like you're letting your rib cage open, and then exhale, roll your head back down onto the mat. Try that again. Inhaling, turning the head to the right, peeking underneath that right arm, opening the ribs, and then exhaling, turning your head back down. Walk your hands back to center and walk your hands towards you to come up into your tabletop shape. So let your knees be underneath your hips, about hip width apart, and hands underneath the shoulders, about shoulder width apart. Come into some cat and cow here. So in cow pose, you're going to let your belly sway down towards the mat. Lift your tailbone, lift your gaze up. Inhale, breath, stretching the front body. And then as you exhale, coil in the other direction, letting your tailbone point down towards the mat, rounding your upper back, and separating your shoulder blades, doming your back toward the ceiling. Pressing your hands into the floor. Try that again. Inhaling to sway, cow pose, stretching the front body, and then exhale to round, coiling in, exhaling, pressing belly button toward the spine. Try this again on your own timing. So you're flexing and arcing the spine in two different directions, focusing on your breath and using your breath as a lubrication to open up into the spine and create more space. And then feel free to take some other movements of your choice here. The great thing about the home practice is that nobody's around to see you. No feelings of self-consciousness in yoga. Really, it's just you, even when we're practicing in person. So you might feel like you want to start circling the hips around. That's one choice of a movement you can make. Really, this is your own exploration here. You can go the other way if you're circling. And anything goes here, really. You can start to bend into the shoulders, just feeling how all of your body parts are feeling today. You can jump rope your spine. What is that, right? Jump roping the spine. So you're kind of taking your spine and making some circles with your back. Go the other way. Anything that's intuitive for you. And then when you've had a chance to explore, We're going to press up into our downward facing dog. So let your hands be nice and wide, maybe as wide as your mat. Tuck your toes under. Inhale, hovering your knees off the mat. Exhale, sending your sitting bones back towards the heels. Really lengthening the spine. So feel those heels be nice and heavy towards the earth. And it's okay if your heels are not on the ground. Bend your knees as much as you want to. Sometimes the hamstrings feel tight, especially in the morning. So don't feel like you have to lock out the knees. You can keep the knees bent. And if you really want to feel even more grounded and your heels are not reaching the floor, you can place a blanket underneath your heels so that you can feel that your heels are actually grounding down on something. Take a deep breath into your back body. Widen out your shoulder blades away from the midline. And then as you exhale, melt your heart down towards the mat. Take 2 more breaths this way. Inhaling to fill up. And exhaling to melt the heart down. So you're getting quite a bit of opening in the shoulders here too. Inhale, breath. And then exhale. And then tiptoe slowly up towards your hands to the front of your mat. Start to rise up to standing and come to Tadasana, mountain pose. So your feet can be hip width apart. Lift and spread the toes and then reconnect the toes down. Palms can be forward, thumbs out. Tadasana. So in every asana we have Tadasana, meaning we have good alignment. Make sure you feel that your chest, your heart is over your center, which is over your hips, knees, ankles, and feel like you're really connecting down to the earth beneath you, as if you're shooting down some roots through your feet. So feel confident that you're not falling anywhere. You're really nice and tall and stable in your mountain pose. Take a deep breath in, sweep the arms up, reach up toward the ceiling, gaze up, and then exhale, release and fold over the legs. Cascading down, bend your knees as much as you want. Feel free to grab opposite elbows and let yourself sway from side to side. Gently releasing the lower back and stretching all of your spine. Feel free to keep the knees bent. You might even rest your rib cage onto your thighs. And then let the hands fall straight down towards the earth like a rag doll. We're going to take a halfway lift here. So either fingertips on the earth or your hands can come to your shins. As you inhale, lengthen your spine like you're stretching out of your pelvis. And then exhale, release and fold again, dangling down. Try that again twice more with the breath. Inhale, lengthen the spine, lift up halfway, make your back nice and flat. And then exhale to release and fold. One more time, hands on shins or fingertips to the earth. Inhale, lengthen. Glide your shoulder blades down your back. And then exhale, release and fold. Let's rise up slowly now so you can curl up very slowly, letting your head and arms be heavy towards the ground. Slowly stacking your vertebrae one on top of the other. And as you rise all the way up, eventually unfurling the head and the chin last to stack right on the top of your spine. Then take a deep breath in, sweep the arms all the way up, and then exhale to fold. We're going to move a little bit quicker now. Halfway lift, inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale to release and fold. Plant your hands on either side of your feet and step back to your downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let your feet be hip width apart or more. And then try to feel the rotation of your inner thighs in towards each other. So the inseam of your thighs, roll your thighs in towards each other. And feel the pinky toe side edges of your feet pressing outward on your mat, but your feet are not moving. So you feel like you're creating some space up in your sitting bones. Shake your head out, yes and no. Relax your head and neck. And then inhale, rise up on tippy toes. Exhale, sink your heels back down to the mat. Twice more like that with the breath. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, lower the heels down. One more deep breath in as you raise the heels. And then exhale, lowering the heels down. Tiptoe forward to the top of your mat. And then inhale to rise up. Sweep the arms out wide. Connect your palms together in Anjali Mudra. Exhale your hands down in front of the heart. Inhale, upward salute, reach the arms up. And then exhale to fold over the legs. Inhale your halfway lift, lengthen the spine, look forward. And then exhale to fold. Plant your hands, step back to a plank pose this time. So plank pose, top of a push-up, or modifying your plank, you can always bring your knees down to the mat if you want to modify that plank pose. Keeping the belly nice and firm to your spine, wherever you're at, either high plank or modified. And then lower your knees down to the mat if they're not already. Lower down your chest and chin to the mat. Sliding forward and untucking your toes. Inhale, lift your head and shoulders up for a baby cobra pose. So in your cobra, exhale, come back down. Try that again. Press your feet into the floor. Inhale, lift head and shoulders for cobra. And maybe lift your hands off the mat. So you're really using your back muscles to lift you. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then exhale, release yourself down. One more time. So hands on the outside of your chest. Inhale, pressing up into your cobra. And then press back through your tabletop shape. Tuck your toes under, lift your knees, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Let's take 3 breaths here. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Let the breath out. Inhale. And exhale. Keep remembering to spin your inner thighs inward. One more breath in. And exhale completely. Letting it go. Bring your feet together to touch. Big toes can connect. I keep moving to the side so you can see me. As you inhale, lift your right leg up towards the sky. Keep your right toes flexed like you're wearing a ski boot. Flex down towards the floor in 3-legged dog. So square hips here. Both hip points pointing down towards the mat. Go ahead and bend this knee. And then point your right knee up toward the ceiling. So you're opening up this right hip. But keep your shoulders level. So keep the shoulders square. You might press down through the right shoulder a little more. And then start to make some circles with this right knee. You can make some big circles, just opening up into your hip socket. And then go the other direction with your circles. So you might make 2 or 3 circles in each direction. Take an inhale breath to re-extend the right leg up to the sky and re-square the hips so you're pointing your toes back down towards the earth. Take an inhale breath in 3-legged dog. And then as you exhale, bend your right knee. Come forward with the shoulders over the hands, round your back like cat. And then exhale, bring your leg back up to the sky in 3-legged dog. Try that again. Inhaling, bringing the knee forward, shoulders come over the hands, round the spine. And then exhale, regrow your leg back up to the sky, 3-legged dog. This time we're going to step forward. So inhale, bring your knee underneath your core, hover, and then step your foot between the hands. We're going to come up to a high crescent pose. So from here, press into your right foot, rise all the way up, reach the arms up above the head. So make sure your right knee is right over the right ankle and you're on the ball of your back foot. All the toes are facing forward. Keep your core nice and tight. Inhale, look up between the hands. And then interlace your fingers like you're making a little hammock for your head. Bring your hands back behind your skull, elbows open wide. Take an inhale breath, really widen the chest, press the elbows back. And then exhale, release the hands, reach them back up. Bring your hands down to the mat. Left hand can stay on the ground, right hand continues to sweep back and up for a twist. So twisting open to the right in your high lunge posture. Inhale. And then as you exhale, let your right hand come forward and down. Step back, plank pose. Inhale in your plank, whether you're in a high plank or with knees down. And then exhale, come down, knees, bending elbows straight back along the rib cage, chest and chin lower. Unfurl from that little inchworm, untuck the toes. Inhale, cobra pose coming up. Exhale, back through table, tuck the toes, lift the knees, lift the hips, downward facing dog. And we're here for 3 breaths. Inhale deeply through the nose and exhale completely. Inhale breath, really feel that breath coming into your back body. And then exhale breath, feel the shoulders getting a nice stretch as you melt the heart toward the mat. One more breath here. And then exhale completely, bringing your toes together to touch. As you inhale, sweep your left heel up toward the sky, making sure that your hips are staying nice and square here. Both hip points pointing straight down towards your mat, flexing your left foot down towards the floor. Just imagine that you're standing on a wall or wearing a ski boot. Now go ahead and bend that left knee, and then tilt your left knee up toward the ceiling, opening the hips like you're stacking your left hip on top of your right with your leg bent at 90 degrees. Start to make some circles with your knee, exploring your left hip socket, and trying to keep those shoulders nice and level. Go ahead and change direction of your circles. Keep breathing. Inhale, re-extend your left leg up to the sky, and then re-square your hips, rotating your left toes down toward the mat. 3-legged dog, inhale. As you exhale, bend your left knee, bring your shoulders over your hands, get on the ball of the back foot, like you're gonna kiss your knee, round your back, and then exhale, regrow your leg up to the sky. Try that again. Inhale, breath, bend your left knee, shoulders shift forward over the hands, round your spine, squeeze your foot in toward your glute, and then exhale, regrow the leg back up, 3-legged dog. Stepping through the lunge now. Inhale, bend your left knee, come forward, and then step your foot through between the hands for high crescent lunge. Inhale, rising all the way up, reaching the arms up. Left knee is right over the left ankle. Keeping the belly nice and engaged. Look up between your hands. Inhale, breath. And then go ahead and interlace your fingers like you're making a little hammock for your head. Bring your hands back behind to the nape of your neck, right at the bottom of your skull. Inhale as you open through the chest, really reaching the elbows back. And then exhale, release the arms back up. And then take your right hand down to the ground. Left arm can reach up toward the ceiling for a twisted lunge posture. Take a deep breath here in your twist. And then as you exhale, lower the left hand down to the mat to frame your left foot, stepping back to your plank pose. Take a breath in. Take your shoulders over the hands, so press through the toes to peek over the edge of your mat, and then lower down for your connecting flow. So you can always come down knees, chest, and chin, or if you want, you can come down through chaturanga, bending the elbows at 90 degrees and hovering, building some strength in the arms and lowering down. Inhale, coming up for your cobra pose. If you want a little bit more than cobra, you're always welcome to press all the way up to straight arms for upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. So hips are lifted off the earth, you're on the top of your feet. And then exhale, lift the hips or come back up through your tabletop shape. to your downward facing dog. And we're here for 3 breaths. Inhale deeply and exhale completely. 2 more breaths here. Inhale through the nose and feel free to part the lips. Exhale through the mouth. 1 more deep breath and exhale. Bringing your feet together to touch. Big toes can connect. Inhale, lifting the right heel up toward the sky, bending that knee and stacking your hips to open. Right hip on top of left hip. Shoulders staying steady. Inhale, re-extend the leg and re-square your hips. And then exhale, stepping forward between the hands for warrior 1. So you're going to turn your back foot out slightly, 45 degrees, like up to the top left corner of your mat. Right knee stays over the right ankle. And then inhale, take your arms up toward the sky, making sure that your hips are facing the front of the room. So you're pulling your right hip back and left hip forward so that you're square. And then from here, look up between the hands, take an inhale breath. Exhale, come to cactus arms. So elbows are bent at 90 degrees in cactus. Open and energize your fingers. Then as you inhale, pull your elbows and hands back behind you, opening through the chest. Inhale, breath. And then as you exhale, make some fists and bring your elbows and hands together, exhaling in front of you. Let's try that again. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, down to cactus arms. Inhale, reaching back, elbows and hands. Exhale, making fists and bringing the elbows together, hands in front of the face. One more time. Inhale, breath, reach up. Exhale, pulling the elbows down to cactus arms. Inhale, reach the hands and elbows back a little bit, open through the heart. And then close the fists. Exhale, bring the fists and elbows together in front of the face. Deep breath in, reach the arms up. And then exhale the hands to frame the front foot. Step back, plank pose. As you inhale in your plank, stack the shoulders over the wrists. And then exhale for your connecting flow. Slowly as you lower your way. Inhaling, cobra or upward facing dog, or any other belly back bend of your choice. Feel free. And then exhale, coming up and back to your downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and a long exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more deep breath here through the nose. And let it go, exhale. Bring your feet together to touch. Inhaling and sweeping the left heel up toward the sky. Bending the knee and then stacking the hips to open to the left side. Inhale to re-extend the leg and re-square the hips, rolling the toes to point down towards the mat. And exhale, stepping forward for your warrior 1. So back toes turn out 45 degrees, grounding the pinky toe side edge of the back foot. Inhaling and rising up. And try to make that subtle motion of left hip forward, right hip back so that your hips are square to the front of the room. So we're going to do that cactus breath again. So look up between the hands. Inhale. Exhale, pull those arms down to a 90-degree bend in cactus. Inhale, reach the hands and elbows back open through the heart. And then exhale, fists together, elbows come in front of you to close the arms. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, pulling the arms down to cactus shape. Inhale, hands and elbows reach back. And then exhale, bring your fists and elbows together to close. One more time. Inhale, breath, reach up. Exhale, pulling down to cactus. Inhale to widen the heart. Exhale, bringing all that power together in front of your face. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale your hands down to the ground to frame your front foot. Stepping back to your plank pose. Inhale, shoulders over the hands. Press through the toes to come forward. Keep the belly firm. And then exhale for your connecting vinyasa here. Inhale for your choice of back bend. So I'm doing Sphinx right now. If you want to do Sphinx in your vinyasa instead of Cobra or Upward Facing Dog, you're welcome to try something new. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Forearms are parallel to each other. You're on your elbows and forearms. Elbows are underneath the shoulders. So you're making a 90-degree bend in your arms. You're on the tops of your feet. Lengthening through the spine from the tailbone all the way through the crown of the head and pulling with the fingers so that you feel like your heart can blossom right between the gates of your arms for Sphinx posture. So lots of choices in your back bends. And then making your way back home to downward facing dog. Your way, feel free to rest in child's pose anytime, or active rest in downward facing dog. And of course, get water whenever you want to. Please make sure that you drink, hydrate. And everybody can meet in downward facing dog. Bringing the feet together to touch. As you inhale, sweep that right leg up high to the sky. As you exhale, bend your knee, bring it forward underneath your core. Shoulders are shifting over the hands, and you're on the ball of your back foot. So you're rounding your back here like cat pose. And then exhale, bring that leg back up to the sky. This time we're going to tap our right arm, either elbow or upper arm tricep. So as you inhale, bend your right knee, bring it forward to the outside, tap your right arm, building strength in the core, and then exhale, regrow your leg back up to the sky. Try that again to the same side. Inhale, coming forward, tapping the right arm, and then exhale, grow the leg back up to the sky. Building some core strength here. We're going to go to the left arm this time twice. So inhale, bring that knee forward under your core. Twist and tap the left arm or elbow. Exhale, grow your leg back up to the sky. That one's a little harder. Try that again. Inhale, breath coming forward. Twist, tap, regrow the leg back up to the sky. Inhale, breath. And then exhale to step forward between the hands. Warrior two. Spin on the ball of your back foot to completely open. Spin on the ball of back foot, opening the hips and cartwheeling the arms open, reaching front to back. So making sure the right knee still is over the right ankle, but now your hips are open. The pinky toe side edge of your back foot is parallel to the short edge of your mat, or you can slightly turn the toes inward if that's more comfortable for your knee. And your hips are right in the center of both legs. So your arms are spread front to back, and you have a steady gaze over your right middle finger of your front hand. Inhale, stretch forward, reach with that right hand a lot. And then flip your palm over. Bring this arm up and back for a peaceful warrior. Long side stretch on the right side body. So your left hand can rest gently on your back leg, if you like. Or if you like to wrap, you can take this left arm behind your waist. Maybe your left fingers find your right hip crease. So take another big breath here, stretching, looking up toward the ceiling. And then as you exhale, unwind back to your warrior two. Going to a side angle posture, bend your right arm gently onto your right thigh, and then reach the left arm up and over your ear, palm facing the floor. So try to use your core here so we're not just slumping and resting all our weight onto the forearms. So stay firm in your midsection. And then change your gaze point. If you're looking down at the floor, turn to look underneath that left arm, maybe looking up toward the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. If you want a little bit more core action in this, you can actually pick up that right arm off your thigh and reach diagonally so you're holding yourself up with your core here. Deep breath in. And then exhale, coming back up to your warrior two. Straightening your right leg out for triangle posture. Reach your right arm forward as far as you can again. And then let that right arm fall down to your right shin, lifting the left arm up toward the ceiling. And again, you can spin your gaze point up toward that left hand. Again, really engaging core. So if you want to engage your core a little more, rather than really just slumping down onto this shin, you can turn the palm forward on the lower arm and just place it in front of your shin so you're holding yourself up with your core. Inhale, coming back up, bending back into your right knee, coming up through that warrior two. Take a deep breath in, and then cartwheel your arms down to the mat, stepping back, plank pose. As you inhale, press forward through the toes. As you exhale, lower down. Inhaling for your back bend. So we've done Cobra, Upward Dog, Sphinx. Take your choice. And then exhale, coming back to your downward facing dog or resting in child's pose. Take a deep breath in and exhale long. Inhale and exhale. One more deep breath here, opening into the back body. And exhale completely. Bringing the feet together to touch. Inhale, left leg paints the sky. Go ahead and flex your toes down toward the mat, hips nice and square. As you inhale, bend your knee, bring it forward underneath your core, shift your shoulders forward over the hands. You're on the ball of the back foot, like you're going to kiss your knee, round your spine, and exhale, grow that leg back up to the sky. Let's try that again. Inhale, coming forward, rounding your spine, building some core strength. And then exhale, grow the leg back up. So now we're going to go two to the left elbow or left tricep. As you inhale, bend your knee, shift your weight forward, tap your left outer arm. Exhale, grow the leg back up to the sky. Try that again. Inhale, breath, bend the knee, shifting forward, tap your left arm. Exhale, grow your leg back up. We're going to switch to the right side this time, 2 times. So inhale, come forward under your core, twist, tap the right elbow or tricep. Exhale, grow your leg back up to the sky. One more time, bring that left knee forward, twist and tap, and exhale, grow the leg back up to the sky. Inhale, breath in, 3-legged dog. Exhale, you bend the knee, step forward for your warrior two. Spin on the ball of the back foot to completely open through the hips as you cartwheel the arms open, reaching front to back. So look down at your feet to look at your alignment. You should be able to draw an imaginary line from the heel of your front foot that would intersect the arch of your back foot. If it's not there, go ahead and shift your feet into that position, making sure your pinky toe side edge of your back foot aligns with the back edge of your mat, or turning your back foot in just slightly if that's more comfortable for you. Left knee stays over left ankle, reaching the arms long, and then tilting forward to reach through that left arm, looking right over that left middle finger. And then exhale, peaceful warrior, bringing your left arm up and back. Right arm can be on your left thigh, right arm can be on your back leg, your right leg, gently resting there. Or if you want to wrap the arms, you can take that arm behind your back, maybe forming a little mudra on that right hand, if you'd like to connect index finger and thumb. Looking up toward the sky, getting a stretch in the left side body. Inhale to unfurl back to your warrior two. And then going to side angle posture, just bending that left arm, gently resting it on the left leg. And then taking the right arm up and over the ear. Nice long stretch in the right side body. Take your gaze point up toward the ceiling. So rotating the right rib cage and the heart up toward the ceiling. Again, if you want to feel a little more core activation here, option to lift the left arm off of the left thigh and reach diagonally across, holding yourself up with your core. And then as you inhale, come back up to your warrior two, opening the arms back out. Lengthening your front leg for triangle posture. So one thing I didn't say on the other side is if you have a prop or a book, you can place it on the outside of your front leg for triangle. And then as you come forward with your left arm reaching and stretching, you can let that left arm come down to your book, prop, block, whatever you have there, or your shin, lifting the right arm up towards the ceiling. Take an inhale breath and spin your gaze point up toward that right hand. So you're stacking that right hip on top of your left hip here. Really rolling your left sitting bone under, sitting bone of the front leg, rolling it down towards the earth. And then as you inhale, you're going to bend back into your warrior two shape. As you exhale, you're going to cartwheel your arms down, spin on the ball of the back foot to re-square the hips, and then step back. Plank pose. As you inhale in your plank, come forward over the hands. As you exhale, you flow your way. Feel free to do any back bend of your choice. Maybe you want to try Shalabhasana this time, so locust pose. Take the arms straight back along the legs, lift the head and shoulders, lift the palms toward the ceiling, lift your feet up. So balancing just on the belly for another choice of belly back bend. And then exhale, making your way to child's pose. Everybody, let's come back to child's pose. So in case you have not rested yet, here's your opportunity to come down and rest. Let your forehead come down to the mat. Open your knees out nice and wide. Child's pose. Feel free to take your hands straight back along your legs and palms facing the ceiling. You can roll out your wrists if they're sore from your downward facing dogs or vinyasas. If you like to get a feeling of stretching out the upper arm muscles, you can reach forward, connect your hands in Anjali Mudra, bring your thumbs to the back of your neck and walk your elbows forward nice and close to your head. Bring the palms back so that the thumbs touch the back of your neck in reverse prayer. And just stretching out the tricep muscles. And then lower your hands down toward the mat. Walk yourself back up. Okay, so since we're here already in child's pose, good opportunity to stretch out the inner hips. We'll do frog pose. So I like to roll my mat over into thirds. This just helps my knees to not slide any further than I want them to. And if you have a block or some props, books, you can bring them in front of you to help you. So you can place your knees as wide as you want to, like wider than child, on your mat. But instead of bringing the toes together to touch like in child, we're going to open the legs out so that your ankles are in line with your knees. So a 90-degree bend in your leg so that your big toe side edge of your foot, of both of your feet, are on the floor. So flexing your feet. And then you can bring your props to help you, Like I've got 2 blocks underneath my chest. So if I need a little more stretch, I'm going to let my knees go out a little further to the side. And there's traction on the bottom of the mat, so it's not that easy. So you have to kind of slide your knees down. Make sure that your feet stay in this position of big toe side edges of your feet down. So you're really opening through the ankles and the hips. And then you can lower yourself down any amount that feels comfortable for you as you feel this stretch in frog pose. So I've got one block under my stomach and one under my forehead. And I'm getting a lot of stretch in my inner thighs and my hips. Just breathe into this. And then when you're ready to come out, do this slowly. I think coming out is harder than going in. In frog pose. So kind of walk yourself up as gracefully as you can. Maybe wiggling one leg in and then the other leg in. And unfolding your mat if your mat was folded. Okay, so let's come to standing on our mat. And if you have a strap or a belt that you can use, this can help you in this standing posture today. So we're going to take Asta Padangustasana. So that's like hand to big toe pose. So certainly if you don't need a strap or a belt, you can just grab your big toe with your peace fingers and your thumb, okay, if you can reach it. And you don't have to straighten your leg all the way. But if you have a strap or something to help you, you can just make it like into the shape of a U right in front of you. Shape of a U right in front of you. So we're going to take the weight to our left leg first and pick up our right leg. So as you inhale, start to bring your right knee up towards your chest, and then go ahead and land the ball of your foot on your strap or belt, or if you can, grab on the inside of your knee your big toe with your peace fingers. Middle finger and index finger and thumb. Wrap it around your big toe. Okay, so then from there, you can straighten the leg any amount. So if you have a strap or a belt, you can be right here. And then just feeling that balance in the left foot, really grounding down, pinky toe side edge, big toe side edge. And you can lift that foot up any amount you want to. All right, so shifting to the next, Padangustasana B. If you have a strap, you can take the strap to the right hand. Left hand can come to your hip. Start to open your right leg to the right side. Toes are facing up toward the ceiling. And try to keep a steady gaze point. And then slowly bring the leg back to the front. Bend your knee and free it from the strap. Shake out your legs. So we'll try that to the other side. So this is with a strap or a belt. Again, if you can reach your big toes with your hand, you can do that, and you can straighten it any amount. It doesn't have to be all the way straight. You can have it bent, and then when you open it to the side, it can be bent as well. Okay, so if you have a strap or a belt, inhale, bring that left knee up toward your chest, and find the strap for underneath the ball of your foot. Really ground into your right foot now. And when you're ready, start to straighten the leg out. So anywhere really. So if your hamstrings are tight, you might be right here, and that's fine. You're still doing a balanced posture with the leg extended. And then when you're ready, you can take your strap or belt to your left hand. Right hand can come to your right hip, and then start to open the left leg to the left side, toes pointing up toward the ceiling. So one thing we didn't do, which you can try, I didn't do it to the other side. If you want an extra balance challenge, as if this isn't enough, take your gaze point to your right side. So you can turn your head to look toward the right. And then slowly bring your head back to center And bring your left leg back to center. And then loosen the strap and shake it out. And let that go. So more important than even the balance is, are you getting frustrated with yourself if you're dropping down, if you're losing your balance, if you're having to start again? So that's the yoga, as well as the balance, is you want to be nice to yourself because we're just practicing. So things are hard enough right now, so we don't need to beat ourselves over the head just because if we're not balancing. You know, it's just yoga. Okay, so let's come all the way down to the ground. We'll do a little bit more core with Navasana boat pose. So sitting down and extending up nice and tall through your sitting bones. Take your hands, bend your legs, and feet can be together. Hands can be right behind your sitting bones. Sit up nice and tall, open through the chest. And then as you inhale, rock your weight back, pick your feet up off the floor. And then you can balance on your sitting bones, reaching the hands forward and lifting the toes up any amount. Maybe you get your shins to be parallel with the ground. Maybe your toes are just right here. You're still doing core work. Okay, toes pointing like an inch off the floor. You're still really using your core. Deep breath, staying up nice and tall. When your mind wants to have racing thoughts, always come back to the breath. If you want, you can try to raise one foot a little higher. Try that on the other side. Maybe you try that with both legs, raising up a little bit higher. And then go ahead and bring it in for a hug. And then turn and come all the way down to your back. So we're going to do a figure 4 stretch here on our back. So legs can be bent. Take your left leg and cross your left ankle over your right knee to make like a number 4. So your left knee is open out to the side. And then go ahead and bring your right knee up towards your chest any amount. You can stick your left arm through the hole that your number 4 is making. And then reach around and grab your knee. Interlace your fingers around your right knee, bringing that knee forward towards your chest any amount. And if you can, if it's open to you and you want to raise the right leg and straighten it, if you can reach it, or you could use your strap too. And bring that right leg forward towards you any amount. If you want, you can take the left hand to the inside of the left knee and gently apply some pressure to open the knee to the left. Take one more breath here. And then release, uncross the left leg. And we'll try that on the other side. So go ahead, feet are grounded down, then pick up your right foot, cross your right ankle over your left knee, open your right knee out to the right side. And then when you're ready, pick up your left knee, bring it in towards you any amount. Then bring your right hand through the hole of the number 4 that you're making, left hand on the outside of the left thigh, and interlace your fingers right at your knee or shin, whatever feels comfortable for you. And pull your left knee up toward your chest any amount to give yourself a nice outer hip stretch. And this is also called supine pigeon pose. Pigeon pose is kind of challenging to teach, so supine pigeon is always a great option. If you like, you can also straighten out that left leg if you're there. It's just an option. And then take your right hand to your inner right knee, gently pressing it open, down and to the right. Take another deep breath here. And then exhale, slowly release. And then re-landing those legs back down on the earth. So we're going to come into bridge pose. Stay right on your back. Bring your heels up towards you so that your longest finger can touch your heels. All the toes facing forward. And then Go ahead and inhale, pressing your belly down towards your spine so that your back flattens out on the floor, and then you feel your tailbone starting to curl up towards the ceiling, pressing into the feet and lifting the hips up toward the ceiling for bridge pose. If you have some room underneath your back, you can interlace your fingers underneath your back and kind of walk your shoulders underneath you so you're tucking them in, and that enables you to rise up a little bit higher. You can interlace your fingers, forming a little temple mudra, and point your index and middle finger straight down towards your feet. Take a deep breath in, opening through the chest. Chin stays tucked, head stays straight. Just energizing, and try to relax the glutes a little bit, pressing into the feet. And then exhale, slowly release the clasp if you had it, rolling down upper back, middle back, and lower back. And then bring your knees in toward your chest. Massage your back out side to side. And feel free to grab a happy baby posture here. And then we'll come down to our final resting posture, Shavasana. So making yourself as comfortable as you want to. Maybe you have a blanket that you want to pad your mat with or put over you to stay nice and warm. And then just let yourself lie back, close the eyes, take a few moments of meditation, completely relaxing. Deep breaths here. Letting yourself ground. Take a long, deep breath in and a full breath out. And start to get some motion back into your body. Just subtle movements, curling the fingers in towards the palms, spreading the toes. Just kind of reawakening from your Shavasana, or you can feel free to stay in it as long as you like. We'll just close the class. You can slowly bring one knee in and then the other in towards your heart. Wrap your arms lovingly around yourself and gently turn over onto one side. And when you're ready, using the strength of your arms to help you to come back up to a seated posture. We'll meet with our hands in front of our hearts. And I thank you for practicing with me today. We can close our class out with an Om and chant together, taking a deep breath in. The light in my soul humbly bows down to the light in each one of you. Namaste. Thank you all so much for coming today.